Hi guys, this is week 44 Project Life, and as usual I am starting with my photos, and I have this kit. It's a citrus twist kit, and I'll be honest, I have no idea what month this is from. It was in my pile of old kits. I was starting to clean out the drawer that I store my old kits in, and this was literally the one on top, so I grabbed it because I had no other plans for what to work with this week. So I'm sorry I can't tell you what month it is from, but there was still some good stuff left in here. So I'm just picking out a few cards. I don't have a bigger photo for the bottom right hand corner. I just had another 3x4. So I've got 3 spots for 3x4 cards, and then I need a title card. Now I think the title card was, that sort of blue and white check up there, was cut from a 12x12 piece of paper. I don't think that's actually one of the citrus twist designs, but it worked perfectly because it pulled in a little bit of blue from my jacket in the bottom right hand photo, and the rest of the cards are quite sort of light and bright. I did swap out the crafty one for a pink one just to bring a little bit more color into the left there. Now the kit had some cork pieces left in it, but none of them were super appropriate for the page, and the same goes with these die cuts. I do go through them and pull out a couple, mostly labels for my title card, but I do remember working with this kit the first time around, and it was kind of sort of summery themed and, you know, a little bit beachy, vacationy kind of, which isn't really appropriate for this week either. So I do persist in going through all of these die cuts, hoping that I can pull out at least 1 or 2 to use. And you'll see I've pulled out a few, but I don't end up using really many of them at all. Now there are still a lot of these beautiful yellow alphas left, so I figured I would use them for my title card, but I felt like I wanted to do something a bit different. Well, not different, I guess, because I do this all the time, but I have not done it for a while, so I grabbed out my wood veneer numbers and I am going to stitch on the week number. Now I was very careful to make sure that this was actually the week number, because stitching the wrong week number is not something I could easily redo. So I have got my pencil out, and I've just traced onto the back of the card the wood veneer, making sure to flip the wood veneer over so that when my card is round the right way, the numbers will be round the right way. And then I can just go ahead and I'm just poking holes around those pencil marks with a drawing pin, and because I've put the pencil marks on the back side, I don't then need to erase anything. So I have flipped that over, and although you can't see anything, it's very hard to see on camera here, I can see where that 44 is because of the holes that I've poked through there. So I'm just going to work out the rest of my card basically. So I'm laying in the alphas. There is quite a large space on the left, so I'm trying to sort of spread them out reasonably wide to kind of fill in that gap. And then I want to work out which label I'm going to use, and there really is only one because the blue label was too big, and it actually wasn't a label, it had some other words on it. So I was sort of planning to cover those up, but I don't need to. I can just use this one here. And I have to be a tiny bit careful with my date stamping because this is one of those weeks that covers 2 months. So I'm trying to stamp out I think it's the 28th of October to the 4th of November. So I can't fit the year on there, and I had to be careful to make sure I could fit both those months on. Now I'm just going to glue that down, and I'm sort of gluing it under the 44, and then I'm going to go and grab some embroidery floss, and I decided to pick out a green one. I know, shocking. I will say this green is a little bit more on the teal side of green, but there was a bit of green in my photos, so I picked some green and then I stitched it, and I saved you the hassle of having to watch me stitch it. I just turned the camera off and watched a few episodes of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee on Netflix, and it barely took any time at all. Now the rest of my layout is going to be pretty simple. I know you hear me say that every time, and hold on, I think Michelle said that I should call it considered. So the rest of my layout is going to be considered. I'm just adding a few other embellishments, stickers, that sort of thing from some other older Citrus Twist kits, I just went through my little box of embellishments and picked out some puffy stickers and some chipboard stickers, that sort of thing, because this kit didn't actually have many embellishments left in it. So I do not always use all of the embellishments, so when I break those kits apart, I just pop them into a little box that has all sorts of different stickers and embellishments in it. So I went through those, but I decided to stick with the theme of Citrus Twist, because that way I know it's all going to sort of work together. Now, I had laid down these Today stickers and I wasn't happy with the placement of them, so I am peeling them up. Now, I will say they didn't peel up that well. They have left a sort of sticky residue on my photo paper, but once I re-stuck them down, it sort of covered most of that up, so I'm just going to go with it. And underneath there, it fits quite nicely one of these little chipboard stickers. Now, I am using a couple of different chipboard sets, but I figured that would be the sort of theme for the week, is puffy stickers and chipboard stickers. Now, this photo here, we spent the day at a car show, so I've got one photo of that, but I just wanted to use these alphas, since I have quite a lot of alphas left, to spell out Kaitangata, because that's where the car show was, and I'm just going to leave it at that. There's not going to be a lot of journaling on this page at all, really, but I am going to add a lot of words. So I'm just using that packaging from that stamp set to just be able to space those letters out so that they fill up a bit more of the space, just to get them even before I go and stick them down on my photo and make a mistake like I did with Today. And then I'm going to run that one journaling card through my typewriter just to add a little bit of journaling about the day, which funnily enough probably takes up half the photos on the page. So I guess when I said I wasn't going to add a lot of journaling, I did journal about most of the photos on the page. The journal card didn't go through the typewriter particularly well, so I've got this big space at the bottom, so I'm just going to fill that up with a puffy sticker, and you'll see I end up with a lot of pops of yellow on this page. So apart from the yellow alphas, I've got the yellow sticker, and actually the rim of my coffee cup at the top there has some yellow on it. I had pulled out these tiny word stickers as well, because I knew there was one on there that had said something about a nap, and I've got a photo of a nap, so I grabbed them out too. But before I stuck it down, I decided to add a little bit more yellow. I'm going to add just a couple of bits of this washi tape. It was quite good. It was opaque enough to sort of show as yellow, and then I'm going to stick the sticker down on top of that. So that just carries on my theme of a little bit more yellow. Now, I've grabbed out those two stamps to stamp on the 3x4 cards, but as I was about to stamp them, I realized there's not really a lot of black on this page, so instead of my usual black stamping, I went and grabbed some pink. And then I decided to have another look at these chipboard shapes, but in the end I go back to the stamping because I didn't really like the green, sort of limey green of that chipboard sticker. I decided to go with the pink instead. So I'm going to do the same thing to both of these 3x4 cards. I'm just going to stamp those little sentiments both in the pink ink, both almost in exactly the same place, which again just adds that little bit of continuity. Now I'm just sort of working out what else I can add, whether there's any other puffy stickers I can add to any of these other photos. I've really only got two left, and in the end I don't add any to the bottom right, and I'm going to use the die cut that I pulled out in the first place on the photo of Lily, and I'm going to add a puffy sticker into the middle of it. Now it doesn't quite fill up the center. There's the hearts are the same sort of shape, but they're not quite the same size, so it's close enough for me. It kind of looks like the heart's outlined, and because I've added that second heart in there, I was working out whether I wanted to add a third, but instead I just left it as it was and called it done. I'm really enjoying using these older kits because I don't tend to finish a kit. These half-use kits sort of get put away in a drawer, and it's a nice surprise to pull them out and have fun using them again. So don't forget to pull out your unused kits and give them another try. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye!